Hello, I want to show you how I fixed the Z-axis on my MonoPrice Select Mini V3 or Pro version. If you do this, you will lose the removable bed, and the tools you will need will be a screwdriver, soldering iron, some hardware like the bolt, nut, and a spring to convert it to like the V2 version. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is power off the machine and unplug it. The next step is you'll need to gain access to this little board that is under here. So I already undid the screws, so you'll just lift it out of there. So once you have the board out, you will need to solder a connection on here. And it's going to be this little one right here in the upper right corner. You'll just bridge that, just throw some solder over it, and you'll just connect those two terminals, and that will create a short. The next step is you'll have to gain access to the motherboard. So you'll take off all the screws around the side and just flip it down. So you'll need to get to this connection right here and this connection right here. I already did it, but there should be a 4-pin with only 2 wires coming out of it, and that goes to your limit access switch, and then this goes to that holophix sensor there. So once you disconnect those 2 connections, you should be left with a 3-pin with a white, red, and black on it, and then you should have the 4-pin but only 2 wires coming off it with a black and a black with a white stripe on it. You will need to splice into that 3-pin connector with the red wire, and you will take that black wire with the white stripes and do that there. And all I did was solder them all together and then put some heat shrink on it, and then you'll take the black one and put all 3 black together that way, and then you'll just connect it back into the 3-pin, and you can just throw away the access connector that went to this one right here. After all that, you'll just put her back together. I routed mine. I took the wires out through here and I put it all in the base. But if you want, you can just leave that board right up in here. I opted not to. So we'll move on to the bed. So what you'll need to do is, normally there's these little magnets that are on the bottom side of the bed. So you'll take a pair of vice grips, grip onto those, and just twist them off like normal. And then you'll get a little hammer, and you'll pop up those rivets that are there. And then you'll do the same thing for the bottom side that has the magnets right there. There's just a little screw on the bottom. You'll just unscrew them, pull it out, and get up in there, unscrew it. I went to my hardware store, and I got some springs that are pretty stiff, and just some, I think they're 3 millimeter socket caps with a just a nut on the bottom. So once you get to this point, you will have to do an auto level. So you'll want to make sure you put the bed all the way down as far as it'll go. Then you'll hit tune, and then auto level. That's where it'll do is normal auto leveling at. That's where you'll take your piece of paper and you will put it underneath there, and you'll have to play with the screws. You'll have to do this a couple times until you can get it to the right level. Do a couple test prints to see where it's at. This one is just kind of a touchy one that you'll have to play with, but other than that, should be good to go.